This is a horse called Straticus. He had a barrier trial today at Warwick Farm, over 800 metres. He ran third, jumped brilliantly, was burnt off a little bit early. Track was quite soft. I think they put a bit of water on it before the trial, so the track was closer to slow than dead. And I was concerned about it because I had galloped this horse on soft tracks before and he's gone absolutely disgraceful. And he's come out and had gallops on dry tracks and turned it all around. So obviously he doesn't like it soft, so I warned Blake Shin that he may not handle it. Jumped brilliantly, went about 3 strides and you can see him start to struggle. He's drifted back to probably third last and 5 and 6 wide. Blake brought him right to the outside and he flew home down the outside to run third. It was a nice trial. Still didn't look comfortable to me. I know he's got better action than that. So, you know, he does flow better when he gets on top of the ground. So, another stratum. As you can see, he's not a tall horse, but he's very long, which means he's usually, when he's dry, he's got a lovely length of stride. Today he was sort of scrambling, but lovely quality animal. He's going to win his share of races, and I'm sure he'll be a better 3-year-old. This is Cosmic Cameo, a beautiful colt by Northern Meteor. Got a lot of character about him, as you can see, he's sticking his tongue out here. He's a beautiful colt, beautiful, quiet animal, and a stack of ability. He's been through the system a couple of times. He, when Shin saw last time through, and showed a stack of ability leading up to it. Unfortunately, we thought we'd just turn up and win the trials, and hoping that he might have qualified for the Magic Millions, but had to be spelled, and we're running out of time now, so hopefully we'll concentrate on the slipper. That's the plan of attack. He's been at work for around about 2 weeks now, and he's doing everything asked of him, and we hope to trial him in January. This horse called Star Turbo, probably one of the most consistent horses you'll come across. He's been in work for a fair while now, and we use the water walker, which has been a great help as far as keeping him fresh and happy. He's had 5 starts this campaign for a first at his first start. Beaten on protest at his second start, and then another 3 seconds after that, so 5 starts for 1 win and 4 seconds. His last second was at Canterbury. The week before that he ran second at Canterbury, or start before he ran second at Canterbury, beaten the head. So he's been very consistent, paying for it by obviously going up in the ratings. He's now carrying 59 kilos in most races. As I said, we use the water walker to keep him happy. He goes out the water walker after each run, he comes back in for a week's work, and then he goes to the races and he runs second. Hopefully this Wednesday he goes to Gosford, where there's a 1200 metre no Metropolitan win race. Carry 59. We're going to use the services of Judy Duggan, get 3 off his back, and the 1200 may suit him. He'll get a softer lead and be very hard to run down. But looking fantastic, very happy the way he's going. Most horses would have been trained off by now, but he's still hanging in there and very happy the way he's going. Hopefully next week's the week where he gets another win on the board for the owners. Rock My Fuji, lovely filly by Stratum. She was due to trials at Warwick Farm, but unfortunately on Tuesday morning she just twisted a fetlock. Nothing major, just rolled it. We've had an x-ray and scanned, there's nothing to worry about. So the plan for her now would be to go for a spell for a little while and come back, and we'll see how she goes next preparation, but she's showing a lot of ability. This is a filly called Cash Commands. Showed a lot of her trial the other day at Warwick Farm, but was disappointing at Goulburn yesterday. Had the blinkers on, she drew wide, jumped and went to the front, which wasn't the plan. I wanted her ridden back, hoping that they put speed on, she'd be ridden back off the pace and she'd be able to get home over the top of them, as she did in the barrier trial. She trialled it extremely well and ridden quietly. Fortunately, of course, she jumped so well, Kathy O'Hara was committed to going forward. She ended up leading, and she choked down over the last furlong and ran 7th. She was making a few noises. We're going to try a crossover noseband on her, put the tongue tie on and take the blinkers off next start, put her probably in a 1,000 metre race where we can drop her right back in the back of the pack and see that finish that we saw in the barrier trial. I think we can turn it all around. It was just one of them days yesterday where you just try to forget the run. So hopefully next start we can turn it around and we can see what she can really do, which is what we saw in the barrier trial. This is Misspoken. She was down a race at Rose Hill on Saturday, but after drawing barrier 10, and having a look at it closely at the field, I decided that she's got a poor wind strike rate based on the fact that she's so competitive and she keeps running placings, which gets her rating up, which means she carries more weight. So I've decided to go back to midweek company. Hopefully she'll draw a gate next week at Gosford in a 1200 metre 1 Metropolitan Wind Race. Gets in with 54 kilos, I'd imagine, and she should be a lot harder to beat there than what she would have been this Saturday. Very strong race this Saturday, well, not so much very strong, there was a couple of good chances and I didn't want to risk running second or third again, getting another ratings point going up in the weights and then finding it even harder to run a place before too long. The last run, we don't know what happened there, she ran 3.5 lengths behind them, ran 6th or 7th. Was out of character, but it was when it was 40 degrees leading up to the race and 40 degrees on the day, so hopefully it was just the heat, because there certainly wasn't anything that we could treat after it. She seems fine, her work's been good ever since. I'm going to keep her nice and fresh. I won't do a real lot with her on Saturday morning. As you can see by the video footage, she looks very, very fit, and she is actually very fit, so keep her happy and hopefully she'll keep us happy on Wednesday and she'll get a well-deserved win for us, won't you, girl? Okay, this filly is a filly called Quintina Butay. She's a Butay of a filly, but she's got a mind of her own. She likes flashing them back legs at us, so I'm not going to walk in there. She just had a barrier trial, she's a little bit cranky. She trialled really well at Warwick Farm today. She ran very fast times. She ran second, beating the nose after doing all the work outside the leader from the outside barrier. Got a great temperament as far as going to track work, but as far as handling her, she has got a mind of her own. I'm sure if I walked in there now, I'd probably get her back legs pretty close to my head. So, you come over and say hello, girl. There you go. There you go. Not so bad, is it, eh? So she's got a lot of ability. It's her first preparation. She showed a stack of potential today. To trial that well today after the preparation she's had, just goes to show that she's stacked with potential. But I think it's going to be next preparation. We'll see how she does over the next few days. If she does well and she improves, then we may look at a race. But my gut instinct is that she's probably going to be better just having a little bit of a break and come back and race after the carnival, where she can win all them Bob's bonus races when all the horses go to Brisbane for the Winter Carnival. We were really, really impressed with the way she trialled today. But as you can see, she's a little bit sour, and I'd imagine that she's pretty tired. But she's a lovely filly. She's out of a stakes performed mare by a champion sire in Stratum, and we're having a great run with them. They're just sound horses and great horses to train. Yep. This mare is a mare called Spectacular Choice. She is by not a single doubt. She's been a very difficult horse to train, as you can see by the size of her. She runs on the smell of an oily rag. You can't put food in front of her. She puts on 10 kilos. But you can't starve her either. If you're going to have an athlete, you've got to feed them. So you've got to find that happy medium where you can work her without hurting her and get the weight off at the same time. She's had nothing but trouble with her knees because she's been so heavy. Been a third carpal bone problems and what have you. So it's been a difficult horse to train, to get sound and get to a stage where I can actually get a guide as to how much ability she's got. Last preparation at the end of the campaign, we were able to do that. She had a pretty solid gallop and she ran an unbelievably fast time. She beat the horse she worked with quite easily, but when she cooled down, she was sore in the knees again. X-rayed them, no real issue other than she's got changes going on, as we all hear all the time. We need time, so she got 6 or 8 months in the paddock and she came back in pretty fat. Took a while to get the weight off and now she's up to trialling, and touch wood, so far so good. She hasn't had a lame day. I've taken it all off too early, but she's going really, really well. She's very athletic, such quite a big horse. Gets found quite well on her feet now, and hopefully this preparation the owners will give some reward for their patience, because they deserve it. She's been worked probably 3 or 4 times and hasn't looked like any of the barrier trials, and this time she should. So I wish everyone the best of luck when we get her there, because like I said, they deserve to see her win a race for them. There's a mare called Shady Feyner. She's come back from a spell and resumed at Goulburn in what turned out to be a very strong race. I underestimated at least the favourite, $1.40 favourite, and Matignon, I think, of Guy Walters. He did one at Randwick previous to Class 2 plate where he got him with 57. It absolutely brained us, but I was happy enough with our girl. Her first up forms never flash. I was hoping she might be able to turn it around, but she ran third. Although the winner won by 5, she was only beaten, I think, a neck for second. So, last preparation, she was struggling to hit the line. She had a heart arrhythmia at the last start, and I think she might have even had the start before, but it wasn't recognised at that point. People thought it was a poor run. She came out and did it again at Kembla Grange, and the vet there was able to ascertain that she had a heart arrhythmia. Hasn't happened again. Not often does it happen twice, but I'm pretty sure that it did last preparation with her, so it was good to see her fight on very strongly all the way to the line. After having a pretty tough run from the outside gate, she was 3 deep attacking the leaders all the way, and was still battling away at the finish, although, like I said, beaten by a pretty smart horse of Guy Waters on the day. We'll try and find a similar sort of race over 1100 metres next start, try and find the right grade for her, and try and win some prize money. She's already won at Rose Hill. She's got nothing to prove now. She was quite a cheap horse. I think she was a $30,000 horse, and she's won about $80,000 now. So she's been a good little horse for the owners. She's probably worth 40 or 50,000 as a broodmare with the pedigree that she's got, and she's a beautiful type. As you can see, she'll throw some absolutely cracking foals. Very strong filly, big set of shoulders, massive hindquarter. Just a bit of class about her, and she's got a great attitude. So a bit of luck, we'll win some more races, and then she could be a mum next time through. This is a mare called Lonzotto. She's a Lonro mare out of a Dan Zero, a Lonro out of a Dan Zero mare. She's a monster of a filly. She's 3-year-old. She's had a lot of growing issues. We've had to be patient with her. As you can see, she's about 17 hands, and she's just had a few little issues. She actually had some problems with her pelvis last time through, which can happen with these big fillies. Then, before that she had a few knee issues, which she just needed time. But she had one trial at Rose Hill, trial enormous, and about a week later she pulled up a little bit sore, so we tipped her out for 3 months, and she's just come back in now. And she is blessed with a stack of ability, so hopefully she stays sound. So the owners are going to have some fun with her. She's a beauty. This is a 2-year-old filly called Shadydane. As you can see, she's an absolute monster of a filly. She's by Dane Shadow. We got her cheaply at the Classic sale. I think we got her for around $20,000 or $30,000, I think. So, you don't buy horses for 20 grand very often that look like this, but obviously the homework that Adrian and myself do leading up to the sales pays off. Found this horse through the wind draft, and we think we've stole her. Beautiful mover. Taken a little bit of time. She's ready to go this campaign though. I reckon she'll be probably around 3 weeks off the barrier trial. But she's a beautiful, big, strong filly, and has already shown ability on the track. So fingers crossed for her owners. We think we'll have some fun with her. Obviously, with the size of her, she's going to be absolutely enormous when she lines up beside the other fillies. She actually looks like a colt. And I think that helps with a masculine filly at this time of the year. They're bigger and stronger, and she seems to be pretty set in the bones. Her knees are closed up now, and she's got a great attitude. That's a big thing, I think, with the Dane Shadows. They are, from what I've had to do with them anyway, lovely horses to deal with, and they just want to be race horses. They want to please you. Hopefully this is another one. We've a Northern Meteor single bell filly, and on the way coming is a Lonro colt, both due back into my stable over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully next week. I'm just waiting for some room. I think I should get it. A few horses trial today. We'll see how they pull up, and if they go to paddock on Monday, then we'll just swap them over. They should come straight in. All the other horses from Elite Thoroughbreds are in the paddock. I saw them last week, and all horses are fantastic. They'll come in when they've had their time. We usually give them a month to 6 weeks, so unless they've got injuries. Going forward, Adrian and I will be heading towards the sales of the Magic Millions in January. Will actually be looking at yearlings around the farms during December. We did it last year, and I think it was pretty successful. I think a bunch of 2-year-olds that we've got in work now are outstanding. I think we've got 3 or 4 that could be golden slipper horses, so I think that's due to the fact that we did our homework. We found the horses before they got to the sales, and we put prices on them that we thought they'd make, and lucky enough they didn't bring over what we thought. We were able to get a fair price where the average mums and dads can get a horse and it doesn't seem to break. That's our objective, is to find good horses for as cheap as we can get them for you. The other day, we want you to get a return on the price you pay for your horse. So the homework that we do is imperative. We'll be doing that over the next few weeks, and obviously heading to the Magic Millions. We'll head then over to Karaka, where we'll look for some stayers. When we get back from Karaka, we'll be heading to the Sydney sales and buying as many quality horses at a reasonable price as we can. Hopefully this year they're down a little bit. We always say that, but for some reason they go up 20%, so it's our job to do our homework and find the horse that slips through the cracks. And I think this year we've proven with a horse called All the Talk. We got him for 40,000, and here he is now talked about as a golden slipper prospect. He's just one of a few horses we've bought for around that price that look like they'll be heading that way. So hopefully we'll have the same luck. We can get them for the right price and keep our clients and the rest of the punters happy.